turning thoughts to things. How does that happen? How do thoughts turn to things? And more important, how do I control the thoughts that turn into the things that I want to turn into the things that I want? And we say, you have to accept this vortex version of all that is wanted that you have put there. And you have to learn to tune yourself to this vibrational, vortexual version. And when you do it, when you hold steady on those frequencies, not long enough, but consistently enough, it's the absence of the resistance that you're really going for. In other words, I want it, but doesn't get you very far. I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I don't have it. I want it, but it's hard to get it. I want it, but no one else thinks I should have it or that I can have it. I want it, but that gets you nowhere. That's truncated almost the moment that you are launching it, except that it isn't really stopped when you launched it. It is continued when you launch it and continues to become now that you have launched it. The question is, where are you, dear heart, in vibrational proximity to all that you've asked for and that all that you have become? So when we talk about law of attraction, we have to talk about it in terms of what it is, which means, law of attraction means that which is likened to itself is drawn. That which is likened to itself is drawn. It's like the vibrational frequencies that you know about radio signals. You set your tuners to the frequencies of the transmitters. That way you hear it. That way it translates into the physical equivalent that you can realize. You following us? And this is the same thing. You have to set your tuner, your vibrational tuner, which is indicated to you by your emotions. You have to set your tuner to the frequency of what's being broadcast from your vortex. Your inner being stands there. That which you want to call God is there. And all that you've amassed vibrationally is there. All the momentum that you have brought to where you are, which includes everything that you were coming into this experience and all of the wonderful things that you've added to it since, are all vibrationally queued up, ready for you to discover and maintain the frequency of it long enough that momentum can build to the extent that it can manifest into your experience. That's the best way we have of explaining to you how thoughts turn to things. You maintain a frequency long enough that you become the realizer of it. And what happens as you get on that vibrational wavelength, the path literally unfolds beneath your feet. It isn't about efforting. It isn't about knowing what you want and going after it. It's about, step 3 is about you achieving, finding, maintaining, practicing, creating a vibrational atmosphere. Feels good while you're doing it. That allows what's in your vortex to be realized by you. Following that? I think you are. It's the best we've ever said it. It's the clearest you've ever heard it. And it's everything that matters to you. Because life just causes you to sift and sort. You can't stop doing that. Life just is around you. You knew it would be. And you can't stop that step 1, launching of your desires. That is happening and has happened. And you can't avoid, nor do you have anything to do with the vibrational reality that is amassing, that Source is tending to. But where your work really is to figure out how to vibrationally create an atmosphere that allows you to be the full realizer of everything that you have become. Because anything less than that doesn't feel good enough to you. You can't have become it and now be disallowing it. That's what negative emotion is. You can't have become it and not let it flow in full form into your experience. You cannot have launched all of that money, all of that abundance, and be pinching it off and feel anything that feels good. You can't pinch off who you are and feel good. You just can't. So cut it out. We're eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. There is nothing that is off limits here. It is our absolute expectation that there will be a big time vibrational energy adjustment for each of you, if you want it. In other words, that's what happens in these forums. Because we stand in a place of vibrational alignment with who you really are. And in this atmosphere, it's really conducive to you finding the atmosphere that puts you in that state of allowing that movement from vibration into reality. And do you sort of get it? That it's a realizing thing? That it's a realizing thing? It's a timing thing? It's being in the right place at the right time, which is a realizing thing? In other words, if you get an impulse to go somewhere and you hold back because of some responsibility that you feel about something else, so you don't go, that's not good timing. But if you feel a passion, compelling desire to move in the direction of something and you go, you will rendezvous with all that you were feeling as you felt that compelling, passionate impulse to go. So we're talking about vibration, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We know how you feel about that. And we're talking about law of attraction. Law of attraction, important to understand when you're talking about vibration. Blah, 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 blah. You know about law of attraction. Tired of talking about law of attraction and vibration. But now we are talking about vibration and law of attraction and momentum. Esther's standing at the top of the hill in San Francisco looking down. She can't believe cars actually drive on those hills. Imagine, your car's perched up there. You take it out of gear, the parking brakes off, and you say, I wonder what would happen if I just bumped this car just a little bit. Wonder what would happen. Well, you don't wonder very long because you know what would happen, because you know about gravity. You know about the momentum in gravity, don't you? So you bump it a little and it starts to move, and then you think, oh, wait, never mind. And you stand right out in front of it and you let it bump up against you, and it stops right there. Easy to stop momentum in the early stages, isn't it? But you wouldn't want to be down there at the bottom of that hill trying to, never mind, I didn't mean it. Because once momentum gets going, manifestation ensues in a way that your scientists and your doctors and your statisticians and all of you who are aware of reality, as you call it, you say, oh, that momentum makes this unstoppable. And we say, well, really, there is no momentum that is not changeable. But it is so much easier to do it in the early subtle stages than it is after momentum ensues. So that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about vibration. We want to talk about law of attraction. We want to talk about momentum. We want to talk about your guidance system. And we want you to leave this gathering all full of yourself, determined that you're going to do the thing, the only thing that matters, which is tend to your vibrational atmosphere. Do whatever it takes to get yourself in that good feeling place where you are allowing what you want to flow in. But here's the piece. Here's the piece that if you can hear this, you're going to live happily ever after. It's not just creating the atmosphere that allows it to turn from thoughts to things, because that's you focused upon the outcome, isn't it? Oh yeah, if I can get that outcome, I'm willing to do it. We want you to take your eye off the manifested outcome just for a little while. That manifested, park it in the garage, put it in your bed, put it in the bank manifestation that you're looking for. We want you to step away from that big time manifested outcome that you're looking for and focus upon an easy to achieve in this moment manifested outcome of, ooh, that thought just feels good. Because the emotion that you feel when you accomplish this atmosphere that is conducive to allowing your desires to flow seamlessly, non-resisted into your reality, feels so good as it's happening. In other words, it's the emotion we want you to go for, because the emotion you can accomplish now. The other outcome is going to take a little bit more momentum. And when you're looking for the big outcome, we love you so much, you know what's coming next, you usually peter out. You usually don't maintain your stance. If you say, I'll be happy, and a lot of you do, I'll be happy when I move into my dream house, and I'll be happy when I find my lover, and I'll be happy when I get enough money, I'll be happy when the kids leave home. I'll be happy when, and we say, you're holding yourself in a place of suspended not happiness if your happiness is dependent upon those conditions. So you've been hearing people talk about unconditional love for a long time, but hardly anybody gets it. Most everybody's living a very conditional love. I'll be happy, I'll feel love, I'll feel good, I'll feel alignment when that condition has manifested. And we say, that is so backwards. If you need the condition before you can feel good, then what are you going to do about the conditions that haven't yet manifested? You've got to find a way to unconditionally feel good. You've got to find a way to unconditionally feel good. So, when you think a thought, law of attraction brings you another one like it if you think that thought for 17 seconds. And you begin to feel the momentum of that thought. Think another thought, hold that thought there. Another thought joins it, and another until you have substantial momentum. And when you hold those thoughts about what you want without the contradictory thought of where is it, when's it going to come, I don't know how this is going to work out. When you aren't doing that, but you are just focused upon what you want, and we'll talk a lot today about how to accomplish that, then your thoughts proceed with law of attraction's help in an unwavering, unwobbling fashion. But if you think about what you want a little, and then you notice that it isn't there, while you're not thinking both of those thoughts at the same time because you can't, you're pretty fast at the way you think. I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but. So, I want it, but you are introducing into your habit of thought, into your atmosphere that you are creating, what we are wanting to call the wobble factor. I want it, but little wobble in the early stages of little desires. Sort of kind of want that, and I sort of kind of don't believe it, and there's sort of kind of a little wobble here. But if you want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it, pretty soon those thoughts have grown in your habit of thought, and now you've got a big time wobble going on, don't you? That big time wobble going on is the one that we're talking about, that then it takes so much effort. You try so hard. You really, really want to create your own reality. We know that you do. But we want to show you how to do it in a much easier fashion. We want to show you how to take the wobble out early on. We want to help you to understand what unconditional love, what unconditional alignment, what unconditional wobble freeness really is all about. It's about focus, but it's about focusing and feeling. And it's about finding a way to stop beating up on yourself for what's not done. It's about not beating up on anybody else for whatever's going on too. It's about caring so much about your stability, about your alignment with who you are. We've done a pretty good job here today, just now, of convincing you that your work is the art of allowing. The art of allowing yourself a frequency that allows what you've asked for to flow easily into your experience in perfect timing, so that the path is just unfolding and unfolding. And people will be watching you and they'll say, oh, what's going on with you? You feel like you got something good going on. You're feeling ease or something. It's like you're not worried about anything anymore. And you say and really mean, there is nothing for me ever to worry about, ever, because things are always working out for me. They always have been, but now they really are because I'm out of my own way. Well, what do you mean? They'll say, well, it's a long story. Well, tell it to me. Well, there's this law. It's called law of attraction.